Now, a different kind of migration story, one involving theater and two Russians who left their country after the invasion of Ukraine and are now rebuilding their lives and careers in the U.S. Senior arts correspondent Jeffrey Brown reports on a recent production in New York for our Art in Action series exploring how art and democracy shape one another as part of our Canvas coverage.
It's a play within a play, with cabaret humor, even slapstick, alongside the drama of loss of friends, family, and country.
And I'm very thankful to all of you for allowing to tell a personal, sometimes even dramatic story in a playful way.
For Alexander Molochnikov, the creator and director of Seagull True Story, this is personal. It's based on his own story. What did you most want to bring out in this play?
I think the value of art as air and water for some people, and not only for people who make it, but sometimes for people who watch it. With choosing between food and art, anybody would choose food if we are dying of hunger. But for me, I literally realized through this experience how, without doing theater, I start kind of dying inside.
Let me speak to him. Yes, sir.
Seagull True Story, recently at New York's Public Theater, plays off Anton Chekhov's classic The Seagull, and tells of a young Russian theater director named Khan, Molochnikov's alter ego, about to achieve his dream of directing a play at the world-renowned Moscow Art Theater, when a very different kind of drama intervenes, Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022.
In the beginning, you don't think it's forever. Or maybe some people understood. I didn't.
4 years later, Molochnikov, who in his 20s had already directed productions at leading Moscow theaters, including the Bolshoi,
Happy birthday!
celebrated his 34th birthday with the cast of Seagull in New York, where he now lives and works.
Wow.
I had a team of 40 people who was working for me. I signed all documents and I left.
Also a new New Yorker, the producer of Seagull True Story, 47-year-old Sofia Kopkov.
I came here without any plan, so I stayed with my friend. I told him I'm going to be there for a week. I ended up for a month. And then after a month, I realized that's it. That life is gone.
That former life included heading her own production company that put on prominent contemporary theater and dance performances in Russia and abroad. Not overtly political art, but, she says, a form of activism nonetheless.
I wanted to open this window to the freedom to show them, okay, another world exists. There is different type of art, for example, or different forms of art. And in a way, this is my type of activism, to show something that is relevant, that it's timely.
Russia's invasion of Ukraine ended that. She left within days, taking her two younger children, joining an older daughter who was studying at NYU.
I had a nice life back then. I had a comfortable life. I have home, friends, projects, successful business. But I had my doubts in my country. I woke up in the reality that we're killing our neighbors. For me, it was obvious I need to live for the sake of my kids. I don't want them to get used to the idea that war is normal. And it's a very hard decision because you're not just changing your life from one comfortable life to less comfortable. You're changing the destiny of your kids. It's a very big responsibility.
Huge changes, big struggles, documented in a memoir titled Arts Hustler, A Story of Resilience, along with some advantages, including having international experience and contacts. And within 2 years, she had co-produced Our Class, a play set in Poland during World War II about neighbors turning on neighbors. It had successful runs in New York, Boston, and most recently San Francisco. In pre-war Moscow, Alexander Molochnikov had demonstrated in support of prominent Russian dissident and opposition leader Alexei Navalny. And after the invasion of Ukraine, he registered his protests with a series of anti-war posts on social media and danced to Ukrainian music in the Russian version of Dancing with the Stars. His name was taken off production credits, and he says he received death threats. In August 2022, he left Russia, enrolling in a graduate film course at Columbia University.
Суд удаляется в совещательную
From
комнату.
that came a short film titled Extremist, based on the true story of a young Russian woman whose public protest of the Ukraine war, putting anti-war and anti-Putin messages on grocery items, led to her imprisonment. The film would win various international awards and was also shortlisted for an Academy Award for Best Live Action Short. Today, Molochnikov can see the positive impact of the upheaval he went through.
Because collapse motivates you to rebuild and really develop as a person. I didn't really want it to happen again. We just built something here. I would love a few more years to build more. But the feeling of apocalypse, and of course I want to say that my little art apocalypse is nothing compared to what people lost in Ukraine. But still, you lose your career that you've been building for 10 years. It's healthy sometimes to lose it.
The second half of Seagull True Story is partly based on Molochnikov's experience after coming to the U.S., including the overt commercialism of the theater world here and what he says were different kinds of restrictions on language and expression he encountered. And the play includes a moment amid the crackdown in Russia in which one character asked the American audience,
And something like this could never happen in America, right?
Right? And there's always, it's interesting, it's not a laugh, it's not a clap. Everyone's like, I hope that this play, maybe not in everyone, but in somebody, it would leave some thought or some concern about what's going on in the U.S. today. And I hear it a lot. And many people who saw it a year ago and now, they're like, wow, this is about Iran now.
Molochnikov and Kapkov say New York is their home now. Both have become U.S. citizens and aim to further build lives here, with their artistic work leading the way.
Theater is very similar to democracy. It should be a free space. There are people allowed to ask any questions. I believe in democracy, and I love this country, and I have hope for America. I'm American now, right? I don't have any hope for Russia, unfortunately. And what Putin did, he destroyed life of many generations. I don't like a lot of stuff that's going on here in America, but America is even younger than the Bolshoi theater in Moscow.
America the country.
America the country, United States.
Good perspective from the theater world to today's political realities. For the PBS News Hour, I'm Jeffrey Brown in New York.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.